All right, so we're going to get started here. We have a very, very jam-packed agenda. And thank you everyone for joining us. For those who don't know, my name is Emily Cormier. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator at the City of Sault Ste. Marie. And I welcome you all to the third webinar in our energy literacy series regarding residential energy incentives for tenants and homeowners. So before we begin, I would just like to acknowledge with respect, though we are gathered virtually, that I'm speaking to you today from Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and the Métis Nation of Ontario. I also acknowledge that this area is historically known as Bowading. The City of Sault Ste. Marie recognizes the importance of our relationship with the Indigenous community as we move forward in the spirit of reconciliation. Now, I believe we can begin in a good way. So to start things off today, I'd like to just introduce you to our panelists, and then I'll go into a bit of an overview of the agenda. So first of all, I'd like to introduce you to Christy Sayers and Tia Jones from Garden River First Nation. They will be talking about the Garden River First Nation Indigenous Community Energy Plan. I'm also joined by Mary Sy from Enbridge Gas and Stephen Lakin from the IESO. So I'm going to go into sharing my screen here very quickly, so do bear with me. So I'd just like to get a thumbs up from the panelists if you can see my screen. Excellent. Okay, perfect. All right, so as I said, today we'll be reviewing the residential energy efficiency incentives for tenants and homeowners. We'll have a brief overview of the City of Sault Ste. Marie's greenhouse gas reduction plan. And then Christy Sayers will be reviewing Garden River's Indigenous Community Energy Plan and some of the projects that they're working on. And our first panelist today will be Mary Sy, Energy Advisor, Municipal and New Commercial Construction with Enbridge Gas, to talk about some of their incentive programs in the residential sector. And then our second speaker will be Stephen Lakin from the IESO, doing a presentation on the Energy Affordability Program. And we'll wrap up with some Q&A and closing remarks near the end of today's session. So just to give you a bit of an overview of some of the work that the City of Sault Ste. Marie is doing, we created our very first community greenhouse gas reduction plan, and this was unanimously approved by City Council in December of 2020. The plan is broken down, oh, my slides are skipping again. The plan is broken down into 7 key sections based predominantly on areas of emission sources, as well as reduction action opportunities. So the plan recommends actions in the buildings and energy sector, community and municipal, transportation and waste, but also looks at opportunities in green space, economic development, and municipal leadership. Our goal for emissions reduction is net zero by 2050, and we're taking a staged approach to achieve this goal with a focus of emissions reduction of 10% corporate and 5% community between 2020 and 2030, with an increasing scale of reduction between 2030 and 2050. In addition to the 7 sectors, the plan also has a series of guiding principles. It looks at affordability, accountability, education, and awareness, of which this presentation is such an integral part of. It also speaks to the importance of sustainability and its contribution to community pride, economic development, and environment and habitat protection, as well as health and looking at areas of food security. The plan is robust, but some of the preliminary priorities are to create an environmental committee, which we already have. We've created a climate information web page on our city's website, and we're actively looking at budgeting and funding requirements for our priorities, looking at a youth initiative, and really trying to focus on governance and leadership. So making sure city policies and programs align with the plan, such as developing a climate lens policy. Specifically on the emissions reduction front, we're actively prioritizing energy efficiency retrofits and zero emission fleet opportunities. And we've summarized our municipal department projects We've also looked at tree planting. We're looking to increase it and really understand how we can grow our urban forest canopy and also look at its carbon offset potential and exploring the possibility of developing a community retrofit program and streamlining our energy data tracking so we can actively monitor it moving forward. Some of the priorities that we're working on are transit. We plan to go half electric by 2026. Next year is exciting. We'll be purchasing our very first electric bus. We're looking at installing solar panels on our bus depot in 2023. And we have a series of retrofits looking at LED lighting replacements, heat recovery, et cetera, at municipal facilities. We've made changes on the waste reduction front to reducing single-use plastic. And we're also going to be accepting municipal source separated organics at our biosolids management facility in the coming years. The community also has a plastic-free pledge that we are promoting and looking for participation within the community. We've also just approved to go to RFP for an active transportation master plan and are working at attracting renewable energy companies to Sault Ste. Marie. That was very quick and a lot of information, but I encourage you all to please visit the City of Sault Ste. Marie's website and check out our GHG reduction tab for more information if you'd like to learn more. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and I am going to ask that Christy please go ahead and do her presentation on the Garden River Indigenous Community Energy Plan and where they're at now. So Christy, I've made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, perfect. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. All right, so the Garden River Indigenous Community Energy Plan was created back in 2017. And it was developing the energy plan. It creates the needs assessment that Garden River First Nation required in order to fill the energy gaps that we had here on our reserve. Garden River continues to enhance its current Indigenous community plan by keeping residents involved in the programs that Ontario offers. Such as the Ontario Electricity Support Program, the Energy Affordability Program, Home Weatherization, and the LEAP Assistance Program. It does say here that it's increased over 100 clients. We've actually have, I think, around 400 clients now, and it is still increasing with more awareness to our reserve right now. And then our business lighting program that we have in Garden River. We've been working with our local businesses here to do the lighting program, which identifies the opportunities for lighting upgrades. So a lot of them were given like new light bulbs, the LED bulbs, and then some had like the actual fixtures changed out as well. Let's see here. I'm going to pass it over to Tia, and she can can you read through there, Tia?
Yes, I can. Good morning, everybody. So the landfill waste management in 2019, Garden River First Nation contracted WSP Global, a Canadian business providing management and consultant services to undertake a waste management study on our landfill. Some recommendations moving forward were a future transfer station, which opened on August 17th of this summer, along with a community share shed and recycling center, capacity development with neighborhooding municipality of City of Sault Ste. Marie, project development, energy awareness to our community members by creating the energy committee. We also have solar rooftop installations. So in 2011, ERCD worked with consulting firm Solar Logics for solar rooftop installations. 10 feasibility studies were completed. 10 20-year contracts were secured with the Ontario Power Authority. 10 systems were completed and installed by November 2013. We also do energy newsletters for our community. Quarterly newsletters provides information on upcoming and ongoing projects and events, tips and tricks to making your home more energy efficient, and knowledgeable information on what we are doing in our community. So we have links here if you want to follow our Facebook page, our newsletter, and also our final ISEP plan. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Christy and Tia. So Christy, I'll just ask that you stop sharing your screen. Perfect. There we go. So I would now like to turn this presentation over to our first panelist. I'm pleased to introduce you all to Mary Tsai, Energy Advisor, Municipal and New Commercial Construction, who's going to talk to us about Enbridge's residential energy incentives. So Mary, I'm going to pull up your presentation here and share my screen so you can just direct me when to move the slides.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Can everyone see Mary's slides? I should ask a panelist. Yes. Okay, great. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so just want to welcome everyone. So before I start, I just wanted to basically say, before you plan any renovations or upgrades, visit Enbridge's website. There's all kinds of incentives available, both residential, commercial, and industrial. Next slide, please. So I just want to give you a little bit of background about Enbridge. Enbridge Gas Inc. was formed on January 1st, 2019 from the amalgamation of Union Gas and Enbridge Gas Distribution. We're the largest utility in North America for volume and the third largest in the number of customers, and we're based in Ontario. We exist to deliver the energy that enhances people's quality of life and have done this for more than 170 years. Our core values of safety, integrity, and respect underpin everything we do. Today, we deliver affordable, reliable energy to more than 3.7 million residential, commercial, and industrial customers. So natural gas is a critical component of Ontario's energy supply, providing about twice the energy needs of Ontario compared to electricity at about half the cost as it currently stands. Energy uses expected to increase by 25% over the next 20 years. At the same time, Ontarians are increasingly focused on moving to lower carbon energy sources, and we share that goal. Next slide, please. So just talking about sustainability at Enbridge Gas.
Tomorrow for my dessert.
I think we've got some background noise.
I'll just ask our participants to please mute themselves if you have anyone in the background there. Thank you so much.
Great. So this is just talking about some of the savings, the GHG savings that Enbridge has done since 1995. So these are really large numbers. So, what do these numbers mean? So basically, what it means is that we've saved 2.2 million cars off the road every year, or heating 13.1 million natural gas homes per year. So basically, for every dollar spent on energy efficiency, we're saving $3. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to go into a little bit about our energy transition. So we really talk about using more gas, less gas, green gas, and no gas. So the less gas is reducing emissions by helping customers use less gas, and that's our energy efficiency program.
Once again, I'll ask our participants to please mute themselves if you are not speaking at this time being.
So we have our demand side management, which is what I'm really going to be talking about, and that's conservation. And then we move to more gas. So what we mean by that is really replacing oil, propane with a cleaner burning natural gas for homes and water heating, or switching to heavy duty transportation from diesel to compressed natural gas. Green gas, we are reducing emissions by using carbon neutral gas, and that's blending hydrogen and renewable natural gas from organic waste into our distribution system, also known as RNG. And no gas, we're also promoting geothermal, hydrogen, renewable energy, and also solar. So whether you're looking to cut costs, reduce emissions, purchase new heating equipment, or create more comfortable environment, Enbridge Gas offers a variety of programs, incentives, and services. Next slide, please. So this is talking about our home energy rebate that's currently we have going. So basically, to be eligible, you can get up to $5,000. You must complete at least 2 of the following upgrades to heat your home with a natural gas furnace or boiler. And they're such as high efficiency furnace or boiler, basement insulation, exterior wall insulation, attic insulation, air sealing, window, door, skylight, or water heating. And these are the numbers that you can get. So there's different incentives available for depending on what you choose. Next slide, please. So basically, these are the steps. You would call a participating energy advisor. I've listed yours at the bottom there. It's Eco Supervisor and Superior, sorry, and you would call them and you would complete a pre-audit. And what would happen is they would go through your house and make some recommendations on how to make it more energy efficient. Then you would review your assessment and renovation options. You'd complete it. And then you would also have them come back to do a post-renovation assessment. So all this is covered under our program. Next slide, please. So now we're moving into what is called a home winterproofing program. This is free. And if you qualify, you can receive new insulation, draft proofing, smart thermostat, and all installed by experienced professionals. To qualify, you must answer yes to the following questions. Is your home heated by natural gas? Are you a customer of Enbridge gas? Do you pay your own natural gas bill? And was your home built before 1980? So those people who are renting but they are paying their own gas, you can still qualify for this. So, I would suggest you can contact our website or you can go through Green Saver and there's a 1-800 number there. Next slide, please. So basically, again, this is just kind of going over the steps of the program for the home winterproofing. And we also offer shower heads, kitchen and bathroom aerators, carbon monoxide detectors. And again, just to reinstate that it's professionally installed. Next slide, please. And this is again going over the eligibility requirements. And also if you are social or assistant housing, you're automatically eligible for the program. So there's no income documentation required. Next slide, please. And this is the income. So depending on how many people are living in the home and what your gross family income is, you can qualify for this. Next slide, please. And again, these are just some of the program benefits: increased comfort, better temperature, healthier conditions, most importantly, lower your energy bills. So they're saying there's up to a savings of about 30% of energy use. Next slide, please. So this one here is talking about the smart thermostat, and they're free, and we install them, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to install, and there's also leave behinds on how to operate it. So if you're interested in that, please contact us. Next slide, please. This is just, I'm going to briefly just touch on commercial offers. We basically have 3 program streams, and we have what's called a prescriptive incentive. So that's very similar to a coupon. So if you buy, let's say, a high efficiency boiler, you can get X number of dollars. And there's also a retrofit program. There's commercial audits and studies, and operational improvements and energy management. So these are all the programs that are available on the commercial sector. Next slide, please. And with the energy efficiency programs, we'll work with you year round, and we'll one of our energy advisors will come out to your place. This is a multi-res. They can go through everything, and there's not necessarily huge capital costs involved, but it's definitely something I would encourage if you own a building to take a look at. Next slide, please. So basically, when it comes to complex programs, you don't know where to start. This is the, come see Enbridge. We can walk you through the process. We can direct you to what will give you your best bang for your dollar on your renovations or your energy improvements. And if you want to get some more information, I would suggest going to enbridgesmartsavings.com. That's both for residential or business. There's also a couple of videos online too of actual customers talking about their experience and their savings. So if you have any further questions, I can be reached. You can see my email at the bottom or my telephone. I'd be more than happy. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mary. Much appreciated. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule here for our time. So I will ask if any of the attendees have some questions, please put them into the Q&A function in the bottom part of your screen, and we'll go through them. I just have a couple of follow-up questions to your presentation though, Mary, if I may. The first one that I had was, you said that the energy advisor for the home assessments in our region was Eco Superior. Is that for Sault Ste. Marie? I just know Eco Superior is based out of Thunder Bay. Oh, you're on mute, Mary. Sorry, it seems that you're still on mute. Can't figure it out, eh? I'm just, okay, give it another shot, or I'm hitting the ask to unmute function here, but there we go.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what, I guess these platforms are going a little wonky on me today, so my apologies. So right now that is who you call, or you can call our 1-800 number and they can direct you as well.
Awesome. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying that. And also, just to confirm, the home winterproofing program, is that based on income?
Yes, correct.
And to confirm as well, for the $5,000 incentive, you need to conduct a home audit first before you do the upgrade and then after the fact, correct?
That's correct. So you do the home audit, you have someone come into your house, they do the walk around and they'll make some recommendations. And then if you do the improvements, then you have them in later on and then just verify everything.
Do you know what kind of audit they're undertaking? Is it a specific one? I know there's the EnerGuide assessments offered by NRCan. Is that similar or?
Very similar to it, yes. So it's you know, we also have the federal program out with the Greener Homes. So you can work with both systems, but you can't double dip. So,
understood.
So if they're offering something that maybe perhaps Enbridge is not, you can still take advantage of it. So I would, you know, with your residents, I would definitely source out both, you know, programs to see what fits the best and where they'll maximize on their incentives.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarification on that. And then one more question, just to confirm, these incentives, the residential ones, tenants and homeowners are eligible. And it will specifically say, you know, when you look at the different programs, if you're a tenant, if you're eligible or whatnot.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So if you go onto our website, it will say like, let's get started. So you can actually walk through everything. So it will guide you. And there's also telephone numbers you can call or reach out to myself and I will direct anyone to the right place.
Perfect. What I'd like to ask, Mary, if you don't mind, is if you could put some of those into the chat, you know, the website, just so that people can have that at their fingertips.
Absolutely. Absolutely will do.
We went through that very quickly. Perfect. So I'll just ask the audience again, if you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A function. Otherwise, we will move along with our next presenter, Stephen from the IESO. So Stephen, I'm going to make you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Sorry, I just have a quick question there for Mary too. So normally through our residents here in Garden River, we end up getting a lot of calls for that. So I usually end up setting up that for our residents here in Garden River as well. So I'm the one they usually contact first. And then I end up calling you guys with a big list of names of, okay, we need all these people for, if there's somebody to come in and assess it, to come in and do the assessments and stuff. So it's kind of nice that we kind of work hand in hand with that. So
no, absolutely. Whatever we can do to help, the residents, we're here. So
and it has to be an Enbridge client as well, right? To be able to access your winterproofing?
Yes. So they have to have gas in the house.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. We actually do have another question here, and we're still within our time limit, Stephen. So I'm going to press pause on you for a sec. Mary, we have a question about how much does it cost for the walkthrough, the initial walkthrough for the home energy assessment?
I believe the cost is somewhere around $550. And okay. Once you have it all done, Enbridge will give that money back.
The total amount up to a certain dollar value, I assume, correct?
Yes, exactly. I believe it's like 98%, depending on what people, charge. But so you have to put that out initially, but then you'll get it back once you make your recommendations.
Excellent.
Or make your step, yeah.
And the final walkthrough as well, there would be compensation, or is that?
That's all included.
I see.
That's both of them, yeah.
Okay. They're asking, do you get the money back even if you don't follow through with the recommendations?
No.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's only, so I would seriously, if you're not quite sure, like I would, you would have to have the intention, because it is a lot of money to outlay at first. But again, it is, you do get it back, but you have to have the sense that you're going to be doing some changes.
Right. And that's why these incentive programs are here, right? They're to help you with those upfront expenses that sometimes make retrofits or upgrades a little bit out of reach. So very, very
exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So we're going to move along here to Stephen. I do believe you are a co-host. So let me know if you have any trouble sharing your screen.
Sure. Let me get everything queued up. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Great. So yeah, just to kick it off, and I'll say good morning. Stephen Lacken, I'm program advisor at the IESO, the Independent Electricity System Operator. So I'll try to not rely on acronyms before spelling them out, just for everyone's benefit. But it's great to be here this morning. And I think it's a great segue to talk about the IESO and Save on Energy programs following Mary's great overview, because these programs are a great complement to the programs and offerings of the gas for gas customers from Enbridge Gas. So the Energy Affordability Program is what I'm going to be spending the majority of my time focusing on. But first, I'll just give a quick overview of who the IESO is. So the Independent Electricity System Operator is a provincial government agency. We're at the center of the electricity sector. So we're responsible for operating the electricity grid. So making sure there's enough supply to meet demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week across the province. We plan for the future of the Ontario electricity system. So we make sure that there's going to be enough electricity supply in 5, 10, 20 years to meet changing demand. And we also enable province-wide energy conservation through our energy efficiency programs. And again, that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. So related to that mandate to advance conservation and energy efficiency, we have a brand, Save on Energy, which is our public-facing brand for all of our energy efficiency initiatives. And Save on Energy just celebrated its 10-year anniversary. So it launched in 2011. And over that time, we've significantly advanced electricity conservation across the province. So we've saved enough electricity from the grid to power about 1.9 million homes for a year. We've helped about 250,000 residential customers and businesses save money and receive incentives for upgrades. And we've supported over 80 million energy efficiency actions since 2011. So really a lot that we've done. And throughout that time, we've always had an income eligible, no cost program that provides support to lower income families who may not have energy efficiency opportunities readily available because of the high costs for accessing those. So we had the Home Assistance Program, which was our no cost direct install program where very similar to the home winterproofing program that Mary went over. We would go to the home, do a no cost audit, determine what eligible electricity saving upgrades the home could benefit from, and then provide those measures professionally installed at no cost. And again, that was a no cost program available to income eligible families. And then recently in this year, we've replaced that home assistance program with the energy affordability program, or the EAP. And the EAP really provides the same benefits as the home assistance program. So nothing's changed with that lower income program stream, but we've expanded the eligibility as well to have a second level of support for moderate income households. And again, everything that we provide for both levels is at no cost. So again, what is the program? It's our province-wide energy conservation program, really focused on electricity savings. So again, that's why it's a great complement to the gas program. It's available to any hydro customer, basically. So if you're a PUC customer, if you're a Hydro One customer, and you meet the income eligibility, you can access the energy affordability program. And it's really designed to help customers manage their energy costs and improve the overall comfort of their home and in making the home more efficient. So the benefits are, bill savings resulting from the upgrades that you can receive at no cost through the program, increased home comfort. So in cases where we can provide insulation for electrically heated customers, that usually, makes the home more cozy in the winter and, more airtight and cool when you have the air conditioning running in the summer. And of course, helping the system, the electricity system, and helping the environment in turn. So as I mentioned, this energy affordability program has two levels of support. So it has that comprehensive level of support, which is that home assistance program equivalent offer that I had mentioned for lower income customers. And that's the model where we would come in, do the audit, do the direct install, all at no cost. And then the moderate income level of participation, that's where customers who fall within that range would receive a no cost energy saving kit. And the energy saving kit contains really easy to install energy efficiency measures like high quality LED light bulbs, indoor clothes drying line, faucet aerators, some draft proofing measures as well if you heat electrically. And those measures that we include in the kit, they are easy to install, but they actually deliver very significant savings relative, to how big they are and considering they can fit into a neat little kit box. So I'll talk about the eligibility now, and I'll go over that first level of eligibility for the lower income customers. And this will be the eligibility level where you can get that home energy audit and direct install. So you can see here, you can qualify either based on your household income, or you automatically qualify if you receive any of the following government benefits or electricity support benefits. And I want to specifically call out the Ontario Electricity Support Program, which Christy had mentioned earlier as well. And I believe Christy and her team help customers in Garden River First Nation access that program. The Ontario Electricity Support Program is an on-bill credit that income eligible families can receive on an ongoing basis if they meet the eligibility criteria. So if you think you're income eligible, or you know someone who's income eligible and you haven't received that credit, highly encourage you to check that out. It's not offered by the IESO, but it's available currently through your LDC, your hydro company, or through the Ontario Energy Board. But you can just Google OESP to find out more. And again, if you receive that OESP benefit, you automatically qualify for this comprehensive support stream in the energy affordability program. So we don't have to look at anything further by way of your household income. And again, what you might get if you qualify under this level is that free in-home assessment. We'll give you, the basic measures like LED bulbs, shower and water saving measures, clothes drying rack, upgraded power bar with timer. But we can also assess certain appliances like your refrigerator, as well as chest freezer if you have one, window air conditioner, and dehumidifier. And if any of those appliances are inefficient, so if they're older and using a lot of electricity, we can replace them at no cost with a new Energy Star replacement. As well, if your home is electrically heated, you may qualify for insulation and draft proofing and insulation in the walls, attic, or basement. And again, this is where this energy affordability program is a great complement to the home winterproofing program offered by Enbridge Gas, because if you aren't a gas customer, you most likely heat with electricity. And in that case, you can get similar benefits of that home winterproofing program. It would just be through the energy affordability program. And then with that second level of eligibility for more moderate income families, that requires that you not qualify for the first level. So basically you have an household income that's above that first level that I had shown earlier, but below the thresholds that are set out here. And that's the thresholds are based on how many people live in your home. And again, what you might get within those energy saving kits is the light bulbs, retractable clothesline, some water saving measures. If you use a block heater, we can give you a block heater timer, as well as some draft proofing and weather stripping if you heat electrically. So in terms of finding out more or applying to the program, I highly encourage everyone to check out saveonenergy.ca/EAP. So that's our landing page. It provides a comprehensive overview of everything I just discussed and even more details. Or if you want to find out more, talk to a representative, you can call our service provider, Green Saver, at the number that's listed here. One thing to highlight is both Enbridge and the ISO with the Energy Affordability Program use the same service provider in the Sault Ste. Marie region. So that's Green Saver. And what that means is that if you have a household that's heated with gas and you qualify for that HWP, and you also qualify for our energy affordability program, we can actually coordinate the delivery activities so that you have a more streamlined experience. You don't have to get the 2 home visits. We can usually do it in one. So that's a highlight to note. And again, if you have any questions, the service provider's more than available to help to determine if you qualify or answer any other questions that you might have. And I know Christy and her team, again, they're pretty active in promoting the program within Garden River First Nation. So we love to see that and encourage anyone else who think they might qualify or know someone that they might qualify to reach out. The other thing I'll just say as I wrap up is we have a number of other programs that I didn't cover today. They're mostly focused on commercial customers. We do have a small business lighting and refrigeration program. I think Christy mentioned that one as well. So all of the details of every program, every initiative and incentive we offer can be found on saveonenergy.ca. So again, encourage everyone to check that out if you want to learn more about non-residential offerings that we have available. So I think with that, I will stop there and I will stop sharing my screen.
Great. Thank you, Stephen, so much. Really, really appreciated that thorough overview. So we now are going to roll into the Q&A section of today's presentation. We're actually ahead of schedule, which I'm sure no one can complain about. So again, I will ask the attendees, if you have any questions, to please put them into the Q&A function of our chat. In the meantime, I do have a couple of questions that I'd like to follow up with Stephen on, and I'll also ask Christy and Tia if you have the same. Maybe I'll put it to you first this time. Do you have any questions that you would like to follow up with Stephen on, Christy and Tia?
I do have a question just regarding the energy savings kits. Is that something that the client has to install themselves, or is that for somebody to come in as in the first?
It's intended to be self-installation, which is why we targeted the measures that are pretty easy to install. That said, we know accessibility might be an issue. So we do have accommodations for customers that aren't able to install measures. So we can come out and do a direct install, but But unless there's an accessibility concern, the intention is for the kit to be something that can be easily installed at the customer's own time.
Perfect. Thanks, Christy. So just a couple of questions, more clarification. So Stephen, you were saying with OESP, if you qualify for the, I'll stop using acronyms, the Ontario Electricity Support Program, you automatically qualify for the EAP. That's correct, right?
Yes.
So if that is the case, will the homeowner be contacted directly and advised about the EAP program, or is there action on their part that needs to be taken?
Right now, yeah, that's a great question. Right now, because it's administered by separate organizations, there's not an auto kind of referral process. So the onus is on the participant to call in. So that's why we try to, plug that message as broadly as we can, because there are a lot of OESP participants in any given year. So we know there's a big pool of people that would qualify for these programs. It is something, in more of in the longer term that we're looking at as an opportunity to streamline the overall kind of, energy affordability support that's offered in the sector, but it's a bit of a longer way away, I would say. But I forgot to mention a really important part, which is we are exactly aligned with Enbridge on our income eligibility, and there's mutual dual eligibility, or in clearer words, if you qualify for the Enbridge program and you've participated, you automatically qualify for EAP and vice versa.
I see. All right. Well, that's some pretty good information for the attendees to know.
Sorry, I do have one more question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So when somebody does apply, say on their own to the program, how long does it take to get like a person to come in and assess their home?
It's pretty quick. So usually within a few weeks. It's really dependent on the customer schedule more than anything. So we know, if you're working and if you've got a busy life, it can be hard to, find a couple hours to be home during the assessment, but we can usually schedule it within a couple weeks notice.
Yeah. I usually get a lot of elders call like the day after we sign them up for the program.
Yeah.
And then asking, oh, when are they going to come? And I said, oh, it'll be a little bit, but don't worry, we'll contact you.
Yeah, I know. I wish we could be that quick, but we try to be as timely as possible for sure.
No, that's great. So just a couple of follow-up questions, Stephen. So again, to confirm, electrically heated homes would qualify for insulation incentives, correct?
So they would qualify to be assessed for insulation.
Assessed, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for those listening in, I know we have a lot of older homes in Sault Ste. Marie who are electrically heated, and we do have very long and cold winters. So that's definitely something folks should check out or ask about if they decide to pursue the incentive. And then I think you had mentioned Green Saver. They deliver both the IESO and Enbridge programs. I'm sure it's up to the participants to, reach out to Green Saver as they apply for whichever program. But does Green Saver mention that by any chance? If someone is calling about, for example, the EAP program, will they also assess and at least bring forward, the opportunities from Enbridge?
Yeah, that's been our expectation in these areas where we're overlapping in terms of our coverage with the service provider. So because when they're filling in the customer record for EAP, they're collecting all the same information they would need to collect on the gas side and vice versa. And they also know, because they're wearing both caps for our respective programs, they know kind of who is likely to qualify for both. So they do cross promote. So if you come forward for EAP and you have a gas heated home that meets the Enbridge criteria, they'll mention that and strongly encourage the customer to participate. There's no additional work as well on the customer side. So they can, if the customer's good with getting both, they can kind of coordinate that on the back end.
That's fantastic. So just a final question, both, and this is for both Stephen and Mary. The programs, how long are they going to be around for? Is there a timeline? Is there a deadline? Maybe I'll ask Stephen first because he's been talking most recently.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I forgot to mention that as well. We have a 4-year commitment from government related to our energy efficiency framework. So we're just wrapping up our first year and we have another 3 years to go. So we have at least until 2025. You know, we've had this home assistance program and energy affordability program since the very start of Save on Energy. And we continue to see the need to make sure there are supports and incentives available for families that may not have the ability to access kind of market-based, you know, energy efficiency opportunities.
Perfect. Thank you. Mary, anything to add on that?
Not just with the home energy retrofit. So with the home winter proofing, as Stephen said, it would be the same. We are what we refer to as a rollover year next year. So we're hoping to start our new framework next year, but the Ontario Energy Board has given us a rollover. So we do not start our new programs until 2023, but there will be an aspect of home winterproofing. We've been, you know, running this program. The home energy retrofit may change slightly because there's also furnace efficiencies that the government is qualifying now. It has to be super high efficient furnaces, so that may change. But otherwise, we'll be running these programs to the end of next year. There might be some tweaks in 2023.
Excellent. Good to know. And so I know on both Mary and Stephen, your slides, you did include information for customers, residents to just keep an eye on what's going on. I assume that following your social media and also checking out your websites is really the best place to stay up to date on any changes or even new programs that might be coming out in your portfolios. Anything else to add to that?
No, I would say the new programs, I would keep an eye on it. 2023. There will not be a sneak preview, unfortunately. But I did put into the chat the two programs, the home energy retrofit, as well as the home winterproofing. So just click on that and there's FAQs, there's videos you can see. So it goes through the step-by-step process.
That's fantastic. And I'll just put a plug in as well for those at home. The City of Sault Ste. Marie does have a very comprehensive list of, and we try to keep this as up to date as we can, of all of the programs, energy incentive rebate programs that are available in the province. We also have the Canada Greener Homes Grant, which is nationwide. So if you visit the City of Sault Ste. Marie's webpage, you can check that out or reach out to me. Christy's also aware. Christy, any other questions on your end or comments that you'd like to add?
I just wanted to know if anyone did have any other more programs, like new ones coming up for the new year coming, but I was hoping Stephen might have something.
We do. It's not I'm not working closely on it, but there is a community retrofit program planned for First Nation communities. And I think that's planned to launch around mid-2022. There have been a couple public engagements on the program and design, so it may be something that some First Nations are aware of, but it's essentially just to give you a kind of a sneak preview. It's kind of going to be like an enhanced version of the small business program as well as integrating parts of like our energy manager program so that it can provide some communities with more flexibility to meet their specific commercial energy efficiency needs. So yeah, stay tuned. There is I think there's information that's planned to be released probably early 2022 around details and next steps. There's also, I'm sure Christy, you're aware, there's our First Nation Energy Symposium next week. So we'll be talking a bit more about EAP at that time and also a bit about that community retrofit program. So stay tuned and feel free to share that invite for that symposium with any of the attendees here or anyone else in your network.
Oh, perfect. And I just want to thank the IESO because part of our Indigenous Community Energy Plan was put through them. So that's excellent.
Oh yes, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Mary. As I wrap up here, I'll just put a final call out to the attendees or any of the participants. If you do have any questions, please put them in the chat. And if you think of them later, you can always email Christy or myself. So I would just like to thank both Stephen and Mary, as well as Christy and Tia for speaking about the exciting work that Garden River First Nation is doing. A conversation about energy is a conversation about emissions. A conversation about emissions is a conversation about energy. So I'm very happy that we're able to share information with the residents of Garden River First Nation, as well as the city of Sault Ste. Marie, about some of the programs that are out there. Retrofitting your homes can be a bit of a scary process if you aren't steeped in this world every day. So I think both Mary and Stephen did a great job in breaking down how you can access these incentives. And again, the city of Sault Ste. Marie has links to all of these different programs on our city website. So please check that out. So seeing no other questions, thank you so much, Stephen, Mary, Christy, and Tia for your attention and your time today. I'll turn it over to Christy and Tia if they have any closing remarks as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for having us on here. And thank you for Mary and Stephen as well for coming online with us today. It was great to get that information out there again and to get more in depth on the programs that are involved.
Tia, anything to add?
Yes, I just want to say thank you for having me and wonderful presentations and a lot of great information.
Excellent. Excellent. We're getting some thank yous in the comments section here. So that's just lovely. All right. Well, we're a little bit ahead of time here, but everyone is probably zoomed out, so they won't complain with a 9-minute pause between their next meeting or cup of coffee and whatnot. So for those who are listening in, we do have one more webinar in our 4-part energy literacy series being delivered in partnership by Garden River First Nation and the city of Sault Ste. Marie. Our last webinar will take place on Wednesday, November 10th from 10 to 11 a.m., where we will be speaking about incentive programs for commercial, so businesses and industry. And Mary, I believe you'll be joining us for that. Stephen, will you be joining us for that one, or do you have a colleague who will be attending?
I think Nicole might deliver that one, but if not, I'll be there. So one of us will be there.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. So for those who haven't registered or who might be interested, again, please visit the City of Sault Ste. Marie's website to register or email Christy and myself. So thank you, everyone. I'm just going to stop recording here and have a great day.